On ASEAN Highlight this week, we start off in the Philippines, where the patriarch of a powerful clan in Mindanao pleads not guilty to a charge that he masterminded the killing of 58 people in 2009, the infamous Maguindanao massacre. Andau Ampatuan Sr. was indicted on Wednesday in a special court inside a jail complex in Manila. The indictment came a year and a half after the massacre took place on a highway in Maguindanao province. This was the first time the complainants get to see Ampatuan Sr. in the flesh since the incident. And after the names of the 57 victims were read out by the court in the Maguindanao dialect, the 70-year-old former governor pleaded not guilty, prompting shouts from the victims' family inside the courtroom. Ampatuan Sr. is accused of ordering his son, Andau Jr., along with dozens of gunmen, to stop a convoy of his political rivals, Ismail Magudada II, who was accompanied by his supporters and journalists. The 58 victims were allegedly brutally shot to death and then buried in a large pit in the town of Ampatuan. More than 30 journalists are known to have died in a massacre that some have dubbed as the biggest attack on journalists in modern times. So far, 57 suspects have been indicted out of 88 in police custody, but 50 others are still at large. Human rights activists and the victims' families have expressed concerns over the killing of potential witnesses. The Ampatuan family is a powerful political force in Mindanao, and both father and son, Andau Ampatuan Jr. and Sr., are suspects to the massacre. U.S. Senator John McCain visited Southeast Asia this week as he tries to assess the political situation in Myanmar. U.S. Senator John McCain, who visited Thailand and Myanmar this week, is on a mission to assess the political situation in Myanmar by meeting with government officials, pro-democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi, and visiting a refugee camp along the Thai-Myanmar border.
My main discussion will be with them to try to convince them that further progress, including the release of political prisoners, is very important. But I also will be seeking to assess what the chances are of further progress in Myanmar towards a better situation for the people of Myanmar.
McCain, who met Aung Min Oo in Naypyidaw and Aung San Suu Kyi at her house in Yangon, warned the civilian government of Myanmar that the Southeast Asian country could face a Middle East-style revolution if it fails to implement democratic reform and improve human rights. He urges the military-backed government in Naypyidaw to move towards real democracy and demand the release of around 2,000 political prisoners. Furthermore, McCain urged the government to ensure the safety of pro-democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi, who said this week that she intends to travel around the country. John McCain's visit to Myanmar comes after the visit last month by Joseph Yun, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs, as the U.S. President Barack Obama pursues a greater level of engagement with Naypyidaw. Earlier this week, Thailand and Cambodia presented their case to the International Court of Justice in The Hague in a bid to end the border dispute, which flared up from the contest over the ownership of a plot of land around the 11th century Pravihir temple.
Fighting between the two nations has sent tens of thousands fleeing amid casualties since 2008, when the Pravihir temple was given World Heritage status, overriding Thailand's objections. Earlier this week, Thai Foreign Minister Kasit Piromya led a delegation to testify at the World Court against an injunction to expel Thai troops from near the temple. The Thai side insisted the court had no legal mandate to Cambodia's request, or even to review its 1962 verdict on the Pravihir case, on which Cambodia appealed in May for an official review. In 1962, Cambodia's ownership was ruled only to the main structure of Pravihir, but excluded areas surrounding the temple. 3 weeks from now, the court will decide if Thai troops stand down, and in September whether to review the Pravihir case, with a new verdict expected within 4 to 5 months thereafter. Although Thailand and Cambodia are to heed the final verdict, it may be years before the underlying border dispute settles. And if either Bangkok or Phnom Penh fail to observe the court's verdict, then the solution will rest only with the UN Security Council.
We wrap things up this week by commemorating the United Nations World Environment Day, which falls on tomorrow, by taking a look at solar energy, a source of power that many policymakers in Asia want to expand and develop. On Monday and Tuesday this week, the third meeting of the Asia Solar Energy Forum was held in Bangkok, organized by the Asian Development Bank, or ADB, along with local partners in government and businesses that are involved with the energy sector. The purpose of this meeting was to continue the goal set by the ADB in Tashkent, Uzbekistan last year at its annual meeting in raising the level of electricity generated by solar power across Asia to 3,000 megawatts by 2013, and thus reduce the continent's carbon footprint from power generation.
ADB has a target of 3,000 megawatts by the year of 2013. We are very confident that we will be getting there. We will do this. We will achieve our target simply because all the countries in this region are strongly committed to investing more in clean energy, especially in the area of solar energy.
Thailand, a country which currently powers itself through various kinds of fossil fuel sources like coal and lignite, has been pursuing the development of renewable and clean energy through a private-public partnership approach whereby government provide policy incentive and subsidies to draw in investment from businesses. In the province of Lopburi, 150 kilometers northeast of Bangkok, a solar plant with a capacity of 73 megawatts, which can generate electricity for around 50,000 households, is currently being developed by Thailand's Natural Energy Development Company, financed by the Asian Development Bank and other commercial banks in the kingdom. This solar farm is about the size of 250 football fields put together, and the project is considered as one of the largest and the most advanced solar photovoltaic in the world and is due to be completed in 2012. These solar panels, also known as thin films, generate electrical power by converting solar radiation into direct current electricity using semiconductor. In recent years, the demand for this type of power generator has grown quite significantly around the world and thus has helped advance the technological development of these cells. Although solar energy is currently a booming industry in many places around the world and it has a very high potential in terms of being a very reliable renewable energy sources, it's still very expensive to make, and thus making it supplementary to other forms of older generation of energy such as coal and fossil fuel. What kept plant like this competitive compared to other forms of power generation is government subsidy, in which the Thai government, along with many governments across Asia, firmly supports.
Economically speaking, per kilowatt hour of electricity generation from renewable, including solar, is still more expensive than fossil fuel. And that's why government subsidy is quite necessary to make that economically feasible. And across the world, we can see in Europe especially, the subsidies have existed and that have pushed the total number of projects up higher. And in this part of Asia, Korea, Japan, and in Southeast Asia, Thailand and Philippines shortly will have subsidy that allow large-scale solar projects to happen. And in the long term, the subsidy will slowly reduce as the economic of the project and the cost of technology come down.
While conceding that the business outlook for a project of this size is certainly a challenge, the managing director of Natural Energy Development Company, Pek Kamkanit, is optimistic about the overall future of the plant and of solar energy in Thailand.
This is the largest solar project of its kind. It's the largest thin film solar project in the world. So I think people are committed to make this project a viable one. I think also we have a support from a CDM mechanism. We are committed to divest or sell our CDM to ADB, half of all our CDM. So with all that component, we hope that this project be a viable project. And again, this is the renewable energy source. So it's largely depend on if the sun would shine, how much the sun would shine in the future.
With the combination of technological innovation, government commitment, and business acuteness, the solar farm in Lopburi is an example of how the development of clean energy can be pursued in the future. I'm Wongcha-um of Thai News Agency, reporting for ASEAN TV. And that's it for this edition of ASEAN Highlight this week. On behalf of the ASEAN News Desk here at Thai News Agency, I hope you all have a lovely weekend and Sawasdee krap.